In the Cold War, the Soviet Union built more than a military. It forged a total war machine with vast interlocking systems of land, air, and naval power, designed not only to defend the homeland but expand and circle the West. This is the doctrine of the Soviet military revival. Soviet military doctrine cannot be understood without ideological roots born from Marxist-Leninist theory. The Soviet view of war was profoundly political. Armed conflict was considered natural expansion of global class struggle, instrument of policy in the fight between socialism and capitalism. The USSR believed peace was temporary and conflict was we couldn't go around it. As such, military doctrine served a strategic and political framework, ensuring readiness to wage large-scale ideological war at any time. At the core of the Soviet war machine stood the Red Army, structured for mass, speed, and surprise. The ground forces were built around one core principle: strike first and strike deep. Drawing from World War II, Soviet theorists developed the concept of deep operations. This strategy focused on overwhelming enemy defenses through layered echelon attacks, disturbing logistics, command, and reserves simultaneously. Typical operations began with the first echelon breaching the defenses, second exploiting the breach, the third pushing deep into the enemy rear areas. Nuclear weapons, tactical and strategic, were fully integrated into the design. Soviet combined tank armies and motor rifle divisions formed the structure of the war-fighting force that at the theater level, massive fronts equivalent to NATO army groups would coordinate multi-directional offensives across Europe. While the West embraced the strategic bombing early, the Soviet Air Force, the VVS, initially took different paths. In the interwar period and World War II, it was focused largely on tactical support for ground operations, but nuclear age forced doctrinal shift. By the 1950s, strategic bombing became the Soviet thinking. Aircraft like the Tu-95 Bear and the Tu-22 Backfire gave the USSR credible long-range bombing capability. The VVS was split into three branches: long-range aviation for strategic nuclear delivery, frontline aviation for battlefield support, and POV, air defense forces for homeland protection. POV operated interceptor aircraft, radar networks, and surface-to-air missiles, reflecting Soviet fears of US bomber attacks. By the 1980s, Soviet air power had matured into potent dual-purpose force capable of delivering both defending the Soviet skies and striking at the hearts of the NATO's infrastructure. The Soviet Navy, one coastal defense force under Admiral Gorshkov, into a blue water navy fleet with global ambitions that shift was profound. From the 1960s onward, the Red Navy prioritized submarines, nuclear-powered ballistic submarines. Typhoon, Delta, and the Kula classes formed the backbone of Moscow's second strike capability. These underwater giants patrolled the Arctic and Atlantic, able to deliver nuclear payloads anywhere on the globe. Surface vessels evolved to missile cruisers, destroyers, carrier long-range anti-ship missiles designed to neutralize US carrier strike battle groups. Naval aviation played a major role as well, with bombers like Tu-22M designed to strike maritime targets. The Navy's mission was clear: defend strategic bastions, theater, threaten NATO sea lanes, and ensure survivability of Soviet nuclear forces. The Soviet Union never planned a war alone. Through Warsaw Pact, it exercised tight control over Eastern Bloc militaries, ensured interoperability, unified doctrine. The key to Soviet planning was TVD, Theater of Military Operation. The Western TVD focused on confronting NATO in Central Europe, Southern and Far Eastern theaters, prepared for conflict in the Middle East or against China. Within these theaters, massive fronts could coordinate joint operations across land, sea, and air, often with nuclear firepower pre-integrated into battle plans. Warsaw Pact exercises like Zapad rehearsed these scenarios at terrifying scale. Perhaps an aspect of Soviet doctrine is more unequivocally Russian than Maserovka, the art of military deception. From false radio traffic, inflatable tanks, and entire fake bases, the Soviets used deception to hide their true intentions and capabilities. Maskirovka was not mere camouflage, was a fundamental element of operational planning. Its purpose to delay NATO's reaction, mislead analysis, and ensure surprise in the opening hours of war. By the late 1980s, the Soviets stood at the peak power, yet also the brink of collapse. Economic stagnation, technological competition with the West, and political unrest at home eroded its foundation. The massive military machine, once seen as unstoppable, was ultimately undone, not on the battlefield, but from within. Yet, its legacy, modern Russian doctrine, Chinese strategic plan, countless military schools still study Soviet concepts, deep operations, echelon attacks, and strategic deception continue to influence warfare today. The Cold War never turned hot, but if it had, the Soviet military machine was built to win it fast and win it hard. Land, sea, air, not just arms, but ideology in motion. I've transformed. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the video. It took quite a bit of research to make this one. Yes, probably already realized my videos are scripted right now. There's a lot of things to remember. I can't remember everything, and I don't really know how to talk yet, so I script things. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all of that if you want. And thank you for your time, and goodbye. Donkey out.